Well, guys, it appears that summer slash fall slash harvest season is over. But at least I can say it sure looks pretty. First snow always feels that way for me. And I love how it clings to those evergreens at the back. It looks magical, like a winter wonderland. But there's still a lot to do. Well, we're going to take some hay nets back to the little rams at the back and see how they're faring, because it'll be a really pretty walk. Like I said, it is magical. That fresh first snow, everything looks so clean. These boys are out here happily still digging and foraging in the snow. It's only a couple inches deep, but we spoil everything, so of course they're going to get some hay just to tide them over as well. Keep them happy back here. Here they come. Someone's got to figure out that there's actually food in this hay net here. Come on, big boy. Hey, fatty. This little boy's got amazing horns. We want to use him for our breeding program. Hey, buddy. I would not have expected you to be first. Are you boys going to come? Hi, guys. I don't think they're feeling the cold back here with that gorgeous fleece on. Are you going to come over, Lucky Luke? Yeah? Lucky is in a pen by himself because he's a very docile ram and he was getting beat up. Come on, Lucky. You'll see when he comes over. He's got some pretty good horn damage. Ah, buddy boy. You can see there he's... Oops. It's okay, buddy. You can see there he's got some pretty good damage. We did spray it, but basically he's split his horn fighting with the other rams. And we've had this happen before. It does grow out eventually. It just leaves basically a scar in their horn. But we had to get him out of there because he kept getting bumped even though we were treating it. So it's healing quite well now that he's by himself. You want to come over for the hay? Come here, Lucky. Come on. Hi, buddy. Hello, Lucky. He is a good boy. We had actually already stopped bringing the girls back to the pasture back here. And one of the reasons was because they had decided there wasn't any food that they wanted to eat anymore and had started to eat the trees. So you can see there, our apple trees were starting to take a beating. This one actually is a really nice fruit tree, so they did a little damage, but at least it's only on one kind of smaller branch. And this one here, the damage was to the main trunk. So we've had them be damaged before. They've come back. It doesn't kill them off, that's for sure, but we have to be careful and watch this. So the girls had actually already been off of the pasture for about 5 or 6 days before the snow came. But the boys are doing fantastic out here, and we're going to leave them. Butcher dates are in January, starting the first week. So fingers crossed this isn't supposed to stay. It's going to melt. We know this, but it certainly feels like the end of that time that we can really get a lot done. Another thing that still has to happen, this electric netting has to all come down and be put away for the winter. We left it out last winter because we were lazy and we procrastinated to the point that it was buried. And there were so many parts that had gotten chewed by moles, raccoons, whatever it was that wanted to get into the pen. So that's got to come down. This tree here still actually has a lot of apples on it, which would be nice to collect to just store for some fodder. They're soft. They'd end up having to stay frozen, but the sheep would still eat them later in the year. So we'll see if I get that ambitious. When it comes to the garden, we're really behind. Here you can see that's our sugar beets still in the ground. Over there, our row of kale didn't get covered. And you can see the tomatoes are still on the trellises behind. Didn't get that cleaned up either. All in all, we still have a lot of work to do. Gates still need to be raised up higher. Last year we dealt with this little pen and that gate was frozen in for 3/4 of our winter because the water built up in here and the snow and the ice layer, and it was torture to chisel that out. And eventually we just gave up, and the animals that were in there were just in there. So we have a nice little shelter barn there right now that you can see up in the hill. The sheep are up there. They come down here and use this, but we may actually use this for our 2 little rams that are going to butcher and not being used for breeding. So we do have to get this gate raised up so that it will open in the middle of winter. And right here next to those tomatoes that are still on the trellis is our red mango beets for our animal fodder. Not too worried that these are in the ground because, to be honest, we're probably going to pull them as we need them. Doesn't matter if they freeze, you still just cut them up and feed them as they are. So they're probably going to stay here. Not overly worried, but they were doing really, really well. It'd be nice to kind of harvest some of the greens to feed the bunnies, but we'll see how that goes. And then we've got some more kale next to them that's now buried in snow. But on a plus side, when winter comes along, we know all the young chickens are going to start laying. This morning, these girls laid me 2 eggs, which is awesome. There's 6 of them in there, so eventually we'll be getting 6 eggs. Another perk to the snow. Interestingly enough, she is right next to the fresh water I just put out, and the sheep prefer the snow. So it means a lot less water carrying. So all in all, as I stand out here in this winter wonderland and look at all the things that we still need to get done, I feel a sense of calm. It's like it's wrapping up. You're only going to get done what you can get done, and next year will come soon enough and we can tackle all those things that we didn't get achieved. But right now, I'm enjoying this beautiful day. The snow is just lightly falling. It feels like Christmas is around the corner. I know that's scary, but it really is going to be a time of relaxation. And to me, relaxation is not having nothing to do, but it's a shift. We're going to be doing more of those winter activities. The things like sitting around the fire and knitting and making stuff, spinning fleece, canning, because we have tons of stuff still to can and get out of the freezer. We have butchering to do, but it's not really, at least I don't find it as strenuous as the gardening stuff and trying to stay on top of all of that. So as the garden wraps up and we move on to other things, it is a sense of winter calm coming over the homestead.